What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Shout outs to James Wilkinson from the UK. LaRon 9817. What's up, brother? Ducking aside. Yeah, first one. Counterpunch to you, brother. We got a lot to talk about. Deontay Wilder is all over the place, people. You know, when I heard this, I'm like, what? Wait, what? It's crazy. Come one, come all. I'm going to let the chat load, let people come on to the live stream. We have a lot to talk about. Mr. Wilder is trying to be the baddest man on the planet, trying to back up his words, his intentions. Monday, we care less about the man who turned down $100 million. You know, it's crazy. That is crazy Monday. Counterpunch to you. Chris W. What's happening, brother? You good? All good. Back into the States. Feeling great. Batshit crazy. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Look, I'm listening to this interview and I'm seeing a man that is just, I don't know. Look, I know you can change your mind, but then it's like, damn, why didn't you change your mind $100 million ago? You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Wilder knows Fury's back to full fitness and knows he's going to get done. No excuses. Wow. Counterpunch to you, sub intention. Maybe that's Wilder's intention. That is a good one. Maybe he knows that. Maybe he knows that he could lose. That's a great look. That's a great counterpunch. You know what I mean? Because it could be that he does know that. Wilder's a fraud. Antone, Wilder's a fraud. Roy Duffy, top of the morning to you, brother. Counterpunch to you. Ben Hastings, keeping up the good work. Counterpunch from the UK. Absolutely, Ben. Let's be honest. He's lost $100 million for an easier fight. He has. You know, he pissed that down the tubes for less than $10 million when he could have made $20 million. And that's just to fight Dominic Breazeale, his mandatory. Thorne Spakeman, yo, Counterpunch. My man, shout outs from London. Counterpunch to you. Wilder does know Fury beats him. Stephen B, that's a great counterpunch. Fabian, these guys with the millions already in the bank don't not even need to fight. Make tons of money on their money. Yeah, that's true. What's up, Fabian? Counterpunch to you. Tony C, evening CBP, CPB. Just catching up. Counterpunch to you, Tony C. What's up, King? To this day, Wilder's no good. To this day. You guys, man. Coach Qatar, hello. Hello to you and counterpunch to you, coach. Put me in, coach. James Gillibrand, good evening from the UK. Do you think Wilder has been advised to say to get into Joshua's head to help the PBC fight Ruiz? You know what I think, James? I think that that someone has been talking to Wilder, you know, because they know the potential. Do you understand? These are two major corporations. You got these broadcasting companies, right? You got ESPN, you have Showtime, right? These guys are merging to get this fight done. Why do you think all of a sudden he's recommending to ask or request Tyson Fury for some fucking step aside money? Now you imagine this, because you know you got the egos. You know, Tyson Fury has his ego and Deontay Wilder has his ego, and you got two big egos coming together and they're clashing. Imagine, because they, you know, nothing's bigger than this fight to them, which I disagree, but to them, these guys, this is the biggest challenge for these two guys, right? They fought before and it was a crazy fight and it happened, you know, and it ended in a draw and all that stuff. And then it, you know, all this shit goes and all the drama, the back talk, you Dalsa, you bum, you coward, you this, you that. Then the fight gets signed. right? Signed. The fight is signed. Okay. Now he's asking for step aside, or he wants Tyson Fury to step aside. And this is the funny thing, guys. He wants Tyson Fury to step aside when Tyson himself already said, I will let him fight Joshua. Do you guys remember that? Come on now. That wasn't that long ago. Where he said, well, hey, I think those guys should fight. And then, and Tyson was smart because he knew whoever fights, I'm going to get the winner. Right? The lineal champion will get the winner. You know what I mean? Martin, now Joshua has lost. He thinks he can beat him. Yeah. I mean, that gives him more confidence. He's seen someone else do it. Tony C propaganda. Yep. Canis Pongnax. What's up? Good work from Holland. Counterpunch to you. Up the R's. Anyone believes that any PBC belt holder will fight another fighter on another network, they are delusional. No, because Ruiz is from the PBC and he fought Joshua. So I got to disagree. I think that the top guys are in some type of weird bondage. Okay. They're in a weird bondage. Conducted interview with the champ. Yeah, well, that's what we're talking about. 78 Sports TV. We're talking about that. We're talking about your interview with Deontay Wilder, right? And that's the thing we need to discuss. We have Deontay Wilder turning down $100 million, right? Have him turning this amount of money down, raising hell to get a fight, to fight a dude that he claims he already beat, knocked out. The count was low. He's still the champ, so he lost nothing. Deontay Wilder lost nothing for fighting Fury, right? He got a draw. You know what I mean? He got a draw. I mean, look, 78 Sports TV. How did Tyson duck? How did he duck? He signed a contract with ESPN, then he counter-offered Deontay Wilder. Now, I do agree. Deontay Wilder should have never signed that contract. He should have never signed it. But that doesn't mean he wasn't offered anything. It was just to mean he wasn't offered what he should have done. In that case, he should have fought Anthony Joshua. See what I'm saying? He should have fought Anthony Joshua when he knew, okay, all the stars aligning to this fight. Okay, Tyson Fury obviously doesn't want to fight. He's on ESPN. I'm on Showtime. Okay, now I get this fucking boom, deal land in my lap for $120 million, and I'm not going to fucking take it? I'm going to bet on myself? And what did betting on himself get him? Okay, he pissed, he moaned, he fought Dominic Brazil for half the money that he would have got for DAZN just to stay loyal to Showtime, right? Just to fight Fury again and to fight Ortiz again, which we still haven't even heard anything about Ortiz, the fight, the release, none of that. Why? Because he's been traveling. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Been traveling. We ain't heard about that. But then yet, you do all that fighting to get a fucking fight with Tyson Fury. Now you turn around and say, well, Tyson Fury's scared and he should step aside. Why is that now? Like, why is that now? You know what I mean? Like, that is making no sense. It's going against everything that he worked for to get. He wanted to fight Tyson Fury. He wanted to right his wrongs. So why is he now resorting to this shit? When he had the opportunity, when he had the money, when it could have been, he could have fought one fight. Well, but he had to be two fights for the same amount of money, no bullshit. $50 million both ways, the same $50 million amount that they claim they gave Anthony Joshua without a fucking contract. Which one is it? Tell me if that makes sense. Now we're giving you what you offered Joshua, we're giving that times two. Make that make sense. Please make that make sense. Patrick Carey, Ruiz to become undisputed. How crazy would that be? That would be crazy. But then again, ask yourself this. What would be crazier? Luis Ortiz and Ruiz. Ortiz versus Ruiz. The Cuban versus a Mexican, right? That would be crazier because no one would in their wildest dreams would imagine that fight going down. But it could happen. This is boxing. It's the sport that I love, that I hate so much, for a reason, because those type of things, this shit happens. This type of shit happens all the time in boxing. The people you think are going to be the front runners forever, they don't be, you know? Victor Penn, Wilder knows will be the biggest payday and realizes that the lineal belt is imaginary. Well, he should have realized that shit last year. You know what I mean? Like, all this is just ridiculous. Tyson Fury was the guy that came out of retirement talking a bunch of mad shit like he always do. And then you took him seriously and wanted to fight him because you knew that would be a good name on your record. It just comes to find out that the motherfucker was he meant what he said. Tyson Fury meant that he wanted to beat you. And the motherfucker did it in a lot of eyes of a lot of people. Right? You know what I mean? After getting knocked down like that, sure, any other ref probably would have stopped the fight. Let's be real. They probably would have stopped it. But then you have to remember something. It's up to the ref. You know, if that had been Robert Byrd, he would have stopped that shit immediately. If you seen Dimitri Pitrog knock out Daniel Jacobs, he hit Jacobs. Jacobs went down to the ground. Jacobs went to get back up. He pushed his chest down, okay, and waved that shit off. That could have happened. Yeah, with Robert Byrd, not Reese, okay? Not Jack Reese. So it's up to the ref. So we can say, oh, what if and what if? Well, shit. I mean, what if Joshua would have hit Ruiz with another left hook? We wouldn't even been talking this shit. Now, that's the question. Would Deontay Wilder even be saying this if Anthony Joshua would have won his last fight? See, that's what if shit. But we know what is. We know what actually happened. And what actually happened, Joshua lost, right? So Joshua has a rematch clause. So there's a good chance, or there is a chance, let's say this, that Joshua loses. If he loses, then Deontay Wilder knows, okay, I can fight Andy Ruiz. I have a better chance of beating Ruiz than Joshua due to the style. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking the whole time, because it's like, look, if Ruiz wins, he's on PBC. I've been high-fiving and chest bumping with this motherfucker since he beat Joshua. He took out my objective, right? But he also knows, like, well, damn, you know, I can fight Ruiz, and then I don't have to worry about the money. Fuck Joshua and them. I don't need the money that they have. I'm still the man. I'm the baddest man on the planet. I'm this, I'm that. I'm the guy with this big ego. So I don't really need to fight Joshua. So there's a lot of ways we can take this. A lot of fucking ways we can take this. Fabian Cameron, hello from the UK. The windmill is scared of the big gypsy. Oh, what have I missed? Mr. Cola, what's up, fight fan? Watching from the UK. Balsadon, UK. Tony C, but Ruiz was never supposed to win. Right, he wasn't supposed to win, Tony. He was not supposed to win. But here's the thing, he did win. Now why do you think all this shit is up? Deontay Wilder announced his 2 fights in advance. Now, it would make more sense to announce the first one before the second one, because you ain't won the first one. You haven't fought that first fight yet. So why is he now, you sign a contract with Fury, but then yet we don't even know what's up with the Luis Ortiz fight. Oh, it's going to happen. But it just shows me that, 1, you're taking Luis lightly. 2, you don't respect Luis like you respect Tyson Fury. Because look, we're talking about Tyson Fury stepping aside. We're not talking about Luis Ortiz stepping aside. Right? We ain't talking about that. We talking about a fight that's happening next year. He should step aside and let me fight for Undisputed. So you're worrying more about some other fight with other fighters than the fight you signed. Make that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Where is the physical lineal belt? It's around his waist, bro. You don't see it? It's invisible. Memoirs of the Invisible Lineal Belt. You know what I mean? Moses CP, when Joshua beats Ruiz in the rematch, I guarantee Wilder will take back the statement and go fight another bum. Moses CP, you know what? Please screenshot this. Please screenshot this, use it, put it in the community if that happens. You got to archive this. Matter of fact, I'll do it for you. How about that? Hold up. Boom. Done. So, if Joshua beats Ruiz in the rematch, that's if, because we don't know. You know, none of us are psychic. We don't know what the hell that fight's going to produce. We won't know until the day. Real talk. We don't know if Joshua's, come in and wipe out Ruiz, or Ruiz comes in and does the same fucking thing he did the first time. You know what I mean? Nobody knows. But if that happens, we have to see what happened, because those are results. The result of Joshua beating Ruiz. What will be said from Deontay Wilder? See, it's easy to talk big shit or say certain things or recommend certain things. Oh, Tyson Fury's scared. If he was that scared, why are you fighting, or why are you trying, or just broke your fucking back to get a fight with Tyson Fury? You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean? So his whole objective was to right his wrongs, right? So the Luis Ortiz fight, which he's not even talking about. He's not even, he mentioned it last week. Oh, this is why, because I'm traveling. Okay, well, if you're traveling, that has nothing to do with your promotional. What the fuck has that got to do with anything? You could at least announce the fight. Al Heyman, Lou DiBella, Shelly Finkel. Where the fuck are these guys talking about Luis Ortiz? Where is this? Where is this information from them? That's what they're paying or being paid for, right? They're paid to do those things for Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is the WBC heavyweight champ. So, yeah, he can be out doing charities, which is a great thing. It's a good thing he's doing charities, being known, right? Signing gloves and shit, hanging out with family, whatever he's doing. But his company, his team is supposed to at least let us know, let everyone know, the fans, the media, right? The analysts, that what's happening with this fight? Where's the venue? Where is it going to be? We ain't heard shit about that. So that's telling me that your intentions are not the same intentions that they once were, because you talked about fighting the same motherfuckers you fought last year, right? That's your fight plan. One person you ain't mentioned, and the other person you're telling to step aside for another fighter. So, you know what I mean? So he's replacing his intentions. He's telling this guy, well, hey, I'm replacing you for this motherfucker. Either Andy Ruiz, I hope like God it's Ruiz, or Joshua. And then we'll tell you to step aside. Which, again, Tyson Fury already said that. Steve, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Wilder will not fight AJ if he wins, and I think AJ will win with the way he has been, in my opinion. Well, yeah, he can box, A weird bondage cult, more like. Yeah, Jerry B, it's more like bondage. It's a weird bondage. That's it. Slaves, slavery. People, let's stop sugarcoating this shit. It's slavery. Most PBC fighters, that's the top. Errol Spence has some funny shit going on. You know what I mean? B6 UK. What's going on, brother? Counterpunch to you. James Gillibrand. If Joshua wins a fight against Ruiz and fights becomes a huge more. I don't know. It depends on how he knocks out Ruiz. And what sucks for Ruiz if he loses. And he's talking a lot of shit. You got to be careful of the things you say because you can end up fucking yourself for future endeavors. The last thing that Ruiz wanted to do is get on Joshua's bad side. If you've already beat him, you don't have to talk shit in the process. You see what I'm saying? He didn't do that to beat him in the first place. So why would you feel you need to do that shit now? You know what I mean? Now, and what happened? Nev Star Haddle, counterpunch to you. Joey Ocean, 78, getting desperate. I don't know about that. I think he had a good interview with the WBC champ, but at the end of the day, that's what we're counterpunching. The shit that went on in the interview. Okay? That's the crazy thing about it. But no, I think that Deontay Wilder is now changing his mind. And if you're changing your mind, just say so. Let's just cut the shit. Let's just say what it is. If you're changing your mind, if you no longer really want to fight Tyson Fury, you've realized that that's not the right thing to do. Okay, so be it. Say what it is, though. Don't give us a bunch of shit about, he's scared. Fuck, you called him a coward 4 months ago. You called this guy a coward when he basically ripped that fucking contract in half to fight you for 50-50. And then here's the deal. Tyson Fury, listen to me, guys. Tyson Fury, by shitting on that contract with Deontay Wilder for 50-50, right? 50 for Deontay Wilder, 50 for Tyson Fury. He said, fuck that. You know what he did? He went for the what? Guarantee, 103 million, 80 million pounds. So again, what is worth more? A guarantee or some split of some kind that you don't know what the fuck is going to produce? Tell me. So Tyson Fury even picked a guarantee over a fucking percentage. See, a lot of this has a lot to do with ego, people. This shit is real. Like Wilder and everybody over there, they saying, oh man, we want 50-50 with Joshua. Why you want Joshua's 50-50? You think that you're going to bring in revenue where it's going to be him that's selling the show. That's why you're talking about him while you're fighting another motherfucker. That's why he talked about Joshua the whole buildup of the first Fury fight, right? The first Fury fight, all he did was talk about Joshua. You scared, Joshua. You ducking. Don't wait. Make the date. Right? And that's fucking what Fury was right there. And if I'm Fury, again, I'm like, dude, who the fuck, what fight are you promoting? I'm the Gypsy King, motherfucker. I'm the big gypsy. Right? Steve Murphy, what's up, brother? All is well, man. Thank you for asking. Counterpunch to you. But I would be appalled if I'm Fury. Because I'm like, dude, what, but here's the thing. Fury used that as fuel because he knew, well, I could talk this guy up because I know I can beat this guy because I know this guy doesn't really have the pedigree, the boxing IQ that I do. And I'm faster and I'm more experienced. I don't even know about more experience, but he knew he was a better boxer and he knew he could outbox Deontay Wilder. And he knew he was going to use Wilder to make his own come up because he went through his own devils and trials and tribulations and shit. And he was going to use Deontay Wilder as a tool to do that, to get where he wanted to be. And you know where he wanted to be? He wanted to have a fucking contract with ESPN. He wanted to have a story. He has a story. He has a testimony. And that's all he needed. And he used Deontay Wilder. So guess what? Tyson Fury seen that 80 million pounds. He told Deontay Wilder, you and that 50% can kiss my dick. You know what I mean? And he went on to ESPN, right? So that's what that was, and then now it's like, okay, Wilder now, oh, you're scared. It's just, it doesn't make sense to me. It makes no fucking sense. All this shit you work for, and then everybody, and here's the thing. You can be a Wilder fan. There's nothing wrong with being a Wilder fan because he knocks people the fuck out. You cannot take that away from Deontay Wilder. That's one thing he does. That's one thing he knows how to do. I don't think he knows how to do anything else, really. I can't fight that well, but I can knock you the fuck out. I might not can box very good, but I can knock you the fuck out. Right? So you got to give him that. But making decisions to fight certain fighters and then reneging on that when the whole dynamics change, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. And it's fucked up. Wiz Fitness God, Ortiz is washed. You know what? He might be washed up. He might be. But I hope he gets paid. And I hope they don't fuck him. Because, see, in this case, it would be very shitty for Luis Ortiz at this point. Because people need to realize that Ortiz made a great sacrifice because he could have built his own legacy by fighting Joshua himself like Ruiz did. You see what I'm saying? So now no one's talking about that fucking fight. All he's doing is talking about fights that may or may not happen. You see what I'm saying? Because if Ruiz gets beat by Joshua, what's the guarantee of Deontay Wilder won in that fight, or that fight being made, actually legitimately being made. Now, what's the chance of that? With the Hearn and Al Heyman, it's already enough where you got Bob Arum and Al Heyman. But Al Heyman and Eddie Hearn, shit. That's like, damn. That's like Bloods and Crips, right? DW wants a shortcut to become unification, a big ducker to this day. Or Docker. Yeah, well. So when is Wilder supposed to fight Ortiz? Batshit crazy? I don't know. No one knows shit about that. No one knows anything. Now, we don't know what's up with the Ortiz fight. Boardroom bully. The HNIC of the bully pulpit. Damn, that's one hell of a name. Stokes, the Saudi Arabia bout is making people jealous. Imagine how much money it will made by AJ and Ruiz. You know what, Stokes? You bring up a great point. People see Saudi Arabia has money, dude. That's one thing. Oil is money. And we know about money. Money talks, bullshit walks, or runs, whichever, right? And people see that shit, man. They see that, and it's like people want to bring up the risk and the flight risk and shit. Man, look, they having fights over there. They ain't the first fight over there. It ain't the first rodeo over there. So let's stop that's making up shit now. We're making up shit. The fights over there, Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua, they're making a fucking killing. Why? Because the money was available and they offered the money for the fight. They had the money for the fight. Okay, all right, we're going over here. You don't want to have it in the UK? Motherfucker, we're having it over here because the Saudis have a lot of money and they're going to break bread with us. They sure are. That's exactly what they're going to do. And you know what? You're coming aboard because you're not going to fuck this money up for us, says Eddie Hearn and Joshua. Joshua just wants those fucking belts back. Honestly, he just wants those belts back. Ruiz is not training and partying. Money's going to his head. Daniel Richards. That seems like it's the case right now. He had his birthday party, and you know how it is, when you don't want to do shit, it's always an excuse to do something else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, hell, man, I was going to train, but shit, man, my birthday came up, Then after that goes, that blowout, that takes a day or two, a few days go by and you're like, you know what? This is my mother's birthday. I can't train on my mother's birthday. I got to buy her a cake and we're going to the house and we're going to have half the party over here. Then we're going to go over there and have half the party. So we got to have two caterers because we don't have time to pack up all this shit over here and then go over there. So we're going to fucking get two of them. I got the money because, I'm the champ. So it's always going to be a fucking reason to do that. Yeah, it's always going to be a reason to party if that's on your mind, Andre Golden, there's no chance AJ loses. Ooh, shit. Let me counterpunch that. I don't know about that one. Because all that shit could be a smoke screen at the end of the day. All that shit could mean is like, oh, they're letting people think that Ruiz is not training. And I'm convinced he's not training. But look how long that is from now. You got September, you have October, you have all of November, right? That's 3 fucking months. That's 90 days and some change. So if you can't get ready in 90 days, I don't know what to tell you. And let's cut the shit. He didn't have that long a time to end the actual Joshua training camp. Okay, I got to be clear about this. The actual training camp that he had with Joshua was like 5 weeks. Okay, but he had a week and a half time off. He had a week and a half break, but then he fought. Okay, then he had a full training camp, which was 6 weeks. So he really does not have a extensively long training camp to get him prepared. That's the protocol. It's the standard of his group, of his team. And his team is like, okay, cool. This is the standard. This is what we need to get you prepared. Okay. See, they want to do some new shit with Andy Ruiz this time go around. So the objective was Manny wanted to get him into the training camp to get him prepared for this new shit that they're trying to implement with him. Right. So that's the deal with that. I bet you counterpunch $100. No, I'm not betting you. I'm not betting on that shit. If I was going to do some betting, it would have been June 1st. I'm not betting shit this time. That's just too close to call. Nah. Hell yeah, I'll send you an official counterpunch shirt. How about that if he wins? I'll do that for you. How about that, Andre? I'll send you one if he wins. Lee Fitzgerald, he is hoping Andy Ruiz wins the fight so that he could be unified. Well, actually, shit, he could be undisputed. And I think if Anthony Joshua wins, there will be no unification, but he does not want to fight Anthony Joshua. I don't think so. I think that he knows, because we already know what his prediction is. So we already know what he wants. We knows he wants Ruiz to win. He said he wanted Joshua to win, but he said he thinks that Ruiz will win. So come on now. If he thinks Ruiz will win, no one is just going to second guess themselves. So not the Bronze Bomber, right? Yeah, he's hoping Ruiz wins. Oh, I'm going for AJ, but I think Ruiz will win. No, dude, not with all that high fiving and fist bumping. You want AJ to lose so you can fight Andy. So he can sit back and sniper Ruiz with that fucking right hand and finally catch him and get him the hell out of there. Right? And then see, here's the thing. Here's the bigger picture, guys. I don't think that Deontay Wilder is avoiding Anthony Joshua. I think he's trying to save Joshua for the last because he knows if that fight, he knows he wants a portion of that money. He's trying to salvage something. So if Ruiz wins and then he fights and beats Ruiz, he wants to be that dominant A side. And then he can demand for, hopefully he can demand the same amount of money, if not more, than John Skippert offered him for DAZN. Since that Anthony Joshua will be 2 times defeated, right? Then he beats Ruiz. And of course, a lot of casuals believe in triangle theory. So what they'll do, they will jump on board of Deontay Wilder, him being undisputed. Meanwhile, he doesn't have to fight Tyson Fury no more. That's why he's trying to get step aside money. So that could be the case, And then here's the thing: if Tyson Fury's scared, he's always going to be scared, right? His family, his wife, right? You see what I'm saying? Trojan, tell him you'll take $50 million a step aside. I know, right? That would be some clever shit from Tyson Fury. But of course, that would be the narrative. Oh, he wants $50 million just for a step aside money. So then it was like, see, I told you he was scared to this day. You don't ask for that type of money. Obviously, you don't ask for it either, but you're willing to offer it to your opposing side. Impossible. I can't. Shit just keeps coming to me of shit that just don't make sense. Saheed, well done, Kurt. You're doing great. Thank you, brother. Counterpunching this shit, man. Just counterpunching it. Terry, Harry Law. When AJ wins the rematch, a lot of people will go into hiding. Watch and see. You know what? We have to see, Terry. Big Philly Style, 87. Wilder announced the fights to play mind games with AJ from the UK. Dunstable, UK. Counterpunch. Daniel Richards, Yo-Yo from UK, Wales. Wilder will destroy Joshua. He got a chin like a four piece of a four piece of paper. Damn. You know? And then here's the thing. It doesn't matter if you got a chin or not fucking with Deontay Wilder. That's why I don't really see why people talk about chins. You know, you don't have a chin, you know. Well, okay. All right, and Vladimir Klitschko can't punch. But, okay. But if we can agree that Deontay Wilder is the hardest punching heavyweight, what difference does it make? Let's ask yourself this question. Did Dominic Breazeale have a chin? Didn't matter if he did or didn't, because, you know, the word out, he had a chin. Yeah, he was dropped, but he was, you know, he could take a shot, right? But it didn't really matter. It didn't matter at all, because when Wilder hit him right, it doesn't matter how good of a chin you have. You know what I mean? You know, you're going down, you know? Having a chin does not make you invincible, people. That's what we need to realize. It doesn't make you invincible. AJ losing will be good for boxing. AJ losing made it interesting. I don't know if it was good for boxing. It made it interesting for boxing because it brought another face that wouldn't have been known if this wouldn't have happened. It gave another fighter another opportunity to shine, because all we used to talk about was the big three, right? Joshua, Fury, Wilder. Not necessarily in that order, but that's who we talked about. And we talked about none of the other upcoming fighters. You know, Kalnaki, you know, Pulev was mentioned, and they were only mentioned on the light of another of the top three as possible opponents. So that's what that was, people. So, you know, I think that more and more people will fight. You'll see more and more top of the quote unquote top three lose, because they haven't fought everyone. They haven't had the challenge that they're supposed to. They're fighting a bunch of people that, one, were never heard of. Two, people either we never heard of them, or it's people you've already fucking fought. What's the point? What is the point in that? You know what I mean? And it's just, now, why are you wasting time? You know, Wilder should have been like fighting Dominic Breazeale. That was a good thing. He was just mandatory, but that was a good thing. At least he has that name on his record. So that guy is a loss. He has a loss on his record, you know, and he shares that win with Anthony Joshua. So that set the table of them guys fighting anyway. And I know John Skipper wanted to use that for that platform. Like, look, you're fighting a guy that Anthony Joshua beat. You did it better. Just like when Pacquiao took out Cotto, right? He stopped Cotto, I think, in the 11th round. He stopped Ricky Hatton in the 2nd round. Floyd, it took him 10 rounds. You see what I'm saying? But who won the fight? You know what I mean? When they fought. So it's like, look, it happens. You know? One face, one name, one champ. Exposaholic. Let's see it happen. Let's see it happen. But remember, you said that regardless of who wins December 7th. See, now I am interested to see if Joshua wins for many reasons, but for this reason in particular, if Joshua beats him, will Deontay Wilder fight him? See, it's easy, you know. Deontay Wilder's been all over the place, and it's easy to sell and to talk about a fighter that you know either you can't fight or you know it's impossible to fight that person now, you know? Joshua beats Fury and destroys Wilder in the same night. Damn. Damn, that's a hell of a statement. Takena, Taribo, hey fight fans, Takeda from London. Wilder is a joke. It's only kids that talk as he does. Damn, with the baby emoji. Smelling the kind of setup that will backfire on Wilder's team aside if they think Ruiz has a Joshua, they are mistaken. You know? Well, we just got to see. I think of Wilder. I think honestly that he made a lot of mistakes in his career, like business mistakes. I mean, we've seen a lot of them this year. Think of any other fighter turning down that type of money. But this shows you, though. This shows you that Deontay Wilder does have fans. He has supporters. He has people like all the LDBC. They will support that shit. I don't give a fuck if he kicks a baby off a fucking ferry, right? Into the fucking harbor. They will find a way to justify that. It's crazy. It's like, dude, how you turn down that amount of money? And I asked Blue Blood Sports TV about it, and he was like, well, tell me if you had the same energy when Joshua turned down 50 million. Motherfucker, Joshua was making 20 or 30 million. You act like $50 million was this like ultimate number. You know what I'm saying? To someone that already makes like more than half of that. Like, that's not really a great bargaining tool. Now, had it been $100 million they offered Joshua, okay, I would have been like, no. And the reason for that is because you're not going to get that type of money. That's Pacquiao Mayweather money. Okay? One fucking fight? One fight or two fights even. Come on, man. You don't make that kind of money. These fighters are getting paid too much, a lot of them. And I agree with Floyd because of if you can sit there and look at that amount of money and turn it down and say, well, I'm going to bet on myself. Well, where have that got you so far? In 11 fucking years, where have that got you? You haven't been anywhere near that. And then when you start supposedly getting money, you couldn't even talk about the shit. A report came out in Forbes and it said what he made from last year to this year, and it was like $30 million. And this was after he fought Dominic Breazeale, right? This is after he knocked out Dominic Breazeale. So he got 10 million to fight Breazeale. So that means he might have received a certain amount of money just to stay with Showtime, but it was nothing near. $30 million is what, matter of fact, $30 million is what Deontay Wilder made from last year in the first half of this year. We're in August, so half of this year and all of last year. He made $30 million, $30.5 million to be exact. 5.5 is an endorsement. So somebody endorsed him. I don't know what it was. Not important at this time. The point is that Joshua made $35 million and he lost people. So he made what fucking Deontay Wilder took him a year and a half to make, and then $5 million more. See, dude, you can't compare watermelons to grapes in that aspect. I'm not talking about fighting. A lot of people think, no, it's not about fighting. It's about marketability. That's what creates and makes the A side versus the B side. You know what I'm saying? So, and it shouldn't even be A side, B side, honestly. It should just be the dominant side versus the non-dominant side. And the dominant side is the one that makes the most money. That's the one that harvests and in control of that because they are the interest. They are the most interested side because of the money and the marketability that particular side has, and that's just, and it's okay, but then you can't pretend like Deontay Wilder's this fucking A side person or dominant side person. And that's what we've been doing. That's what, and a lot of those guys, they try to create these narratives that Deontay is this and Deontay's that. Yeah, he's better than what he used to be, but without Anthony Joshua, without Tyson Fury, where will that motherfucker be? I mean, come on, where will Deontay, where would he be? Fighting cab drivers and football players and fucking people we ain't ever heard of. You know what I mean? He couldn't even fight Klitschko. They bitched him out. They told him to sit on the bench. Okay? This is what they told Wilder. And Wilder was okay with it. That's what makes a champion. When you decide, no, I want to bet on myself. That's when he should have took and said that statement and took that particular energy and harnessed it and used it and saying, hey, you know what? Shelly Finkel, I know you're my manager and all that, but I think I can beat Klitschko. I know this motherfucker got the best of me in sparring, but I've learned a lot since then. And I want to fight. And you're my manager. You're his manager. You got to make that shit happen. That's how you bet on yourself. And if he would have done that and he would have beat Klitschko, he would have been where Anthony Joshua is today. And maybe in a better position. Why? Because he might have not got knocked out, especially by Andy Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. Then he would have a pony in the show. Like, okay, he fight and he beat Klitschko. That's if he beat Klitschko. Okay, his manager didn't think he could beat Klitschko. That's why he didn't put him in there. He called him a baby. Come on, we got to stop acting like this shit is just like hatred. These are facts. This ain't nothing that is just projected towards Deontay Wilder like I'm bashing this dude. I'm not bashing this dude. This is shit that actually happened. You know, and people that are supportive of Deontay Wilder, cool, you like him knocking people out, but at the same time, you can't get mad at the people that criticize the way he was managed. He was managed fucked up. They fucking protected him, and it didn't really do him any good because by the time they released the beast, it was really too late because everybody's already done the things that he's supposed to have done that they didn't let him do, or he didn't allow himself to do, or bet on himself to do. I don't think he had enough confidence in himself, because if he had enough confidence in himself, he would have told Shelly Finkel to do exactly what I'd said. He would have told Shelly Finkel, no, fuck you. I want to fight Klitschko. Klitschko is the king. I want the king. I'm the champ. I want to fight the other champ. I want to fight that guy. Fuck Fury. Fury's out. He's getting high on drugs and shit. He ain't even relevant. So why are we even talking about him? You know? And at that time, he was trying to fight Joshua. You know why he was trying to fight Joshua 4 years ago? Because 4 years ago, Joshua was what? Fucking 11-0? You know what I mean? Like, what? Why are you trying to fight that motherfucker then? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? So it's crazy. It's crazy to me. Johnny M. These mofos making big money thanks to Joshua's efforts. They all clout fishing. Yeah, they all clout fishing. You're right. No. That was the same tune he was singing to the public when it came to fighting AJ, about AJ being scared to fighting him. Yeah. It's crazy. Now he's turning around on Fury and telling Fury to step aside. But here's my thing about that. Remember when Tyson Fury was saying like, hey, get a profile because he signed that contract, and and Deontay Wilder was saying like, hey, if you got that deal because of me. I don't think that he got the deal because of Deontay. I think Deontay had a big part of that because Deontay was that opportunity for Tyson Fury. So in essence, he's right in retrospect, because it's like, okay, Tyson Fury knew what he had to do to make a comeback. He needed a comeback. He needed to use someone. Who can I use? You know what I mean? Who can I use for that? Oh, there's Deontay Wilder, the Dulcer that can't box. Fuck, I can beat him. I can beat him with one fucking hand. I can beat him like I am now. See, that was the bet, Tyson Fury. It wasn't the fact that he was 100%. Everyone know he wasn't. How could he be? He's all fucked up in the head and used to do drugs and all this stuff, right? That's crazy. And then he knew, well, I can beat this dude with all the shit I got going on. And you know what? He fought to a draw. Now it becomes a story. And it's crazy. You would probably get a Tyson Fury movie before you'd ever see a Deontay Wilder one. Why? Just based on what he'd been through in the last 4 years. Tyson Fury is a very smart individual. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew, if I can beat Klitschko, and Klitschko was a guy that toyed with Wilder in camp. Klitschko was a guy that was just the dude that no one wanted to fight, right? Well, he knew that he could beat someone like Deontay Wilder. He knew that. He knew like, hey, I got this fucking guy. He can't even fucking punch. Look at how he swings and all those. He hasn't even fought anyone to even test. He has no one like me on his resume. And you know what? I'm going to beat him, and I'm going to do it like I did Klitschko. Boom. All right? Martin, best boxing analyst online. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Tahaka Tasidi, what's going on? Counterpunch to you. Nev Star Hassel, Haddle, counterpunch to you. AJ knocks him out. Hey, you know, I heard that. Screenshot your post. You know, because look, your words mean something. Your words or your opinions, your statements, they mean something, right? They are formed in your brain, and you have every right to say what you need to say online. Now, if you're just trolling and just talking a bunch of shit, that's just stupid. But saying things how you feel, like, hey, this is it. I think Josh was going to knock him out, or I think Ruiz is going to beat him, or I think Wilder beats Fury and Joshua, or I think Joshua beats Wilder. All that is cool because that's how you think. Hi, respect from the UK. Give me a shout out. John Slack shouts out to you, brother, from the UK. Counterpunch to you. Flat Parsons. AJ losing made Wilder less relevant, and Ruiz took his spotlight away. You know, that may be the case too. Maybe Deontay Wilder has a case of the Floyds. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you start talking about another fighter, and you can even tell when a person is not of interest no one. People stop looking for that. People don't really worry about the Wilder Joshua fight. So, you have a great point. You know what I mean? Flap, you have a great point. Simply because if everyone used to talk about Joshua Wilder, now they don't. And everyone now is talking about Joshua Ruiz. Yeah, I can see why he needs to convert something. He needs to make something up. Because at the end of the day, honestly, I think this is all bullshit talk. He's going to fight Fury because he knows that's the route he needs to go. You know what I mean? I think that's just bullshit talk, honestly, because you've already signed to fight him. But now you're bringing up the idea of fighting the winner. You see what I'm saying? Just to make yourself relevant and attach yourself to that fight that everyone's talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's how you do that. Look, Wilder has nothing to do with that fucking fight. Or does he? Right? But three guys can't fight each other at the same time. It's only two. So you got Ruiz, you got Joshua. They're in Saudi Arabia, okay? That's on the other side of the world they're going to be fighting, right? Wilder over here, he already has 2 fights lined up. He said that before Joshua even lost. So what's the deal with him and his interest in fighting the winner? When, remember, Mr. It ain't about the belts no more, baby. I'm the WBC. Come on now. We got to make this shit make sense, man. Big shout out to you too, Nev Star Haddle, Scott Hiscock. Scott Hiscox. Hiscox, okay. Fury is busy. AJ is ring rusty. Is Ruiz hungry? Wilder needs a big fight, not a big mouth. Well, I think Wilder knows, and I think really something has happened though. You know, if he means what he said in this interview by 78 Sports TV, if he means or he wants, because it doesn't mean anything until he puts action behind it, until he actually offers Fury some money to step aside. You know what I'm saying? That's then we know what's going on. Not him saying, I think Fury could step aside because he's scared. No, you're just now recommending that shit. I don't think he really means it though now. Now looking back at it, I don't think he means it. Because if he meant it, he would have done it a long time ago. I think someone is either came to Deontay Wilder and told Deontay Wilder, like, look, you know, we need to plant the seed of a potential fight between you and Ruiz. And they need to do that because there's a chance Ruiz can win. And Ruiz is with the PBC, and they know it. And they know that that fight, which with him and Fury, isn't as big as that particular fight. They know that. They know that is the fight that, because after that fight's over, then what do we have else to look forward to? So no, Wilder's out of the spotlight, but he's trying to reintroduce himself back into the spotlight by fighting the winner of that fight. So I forget who asked that question, but I think that the fight could be bigger if, like, let's say Joshua beats Ruiz, But then the question is, well, damn, who would Wilder fight? Scance Rants, Fury ducks Wilder first. I wouldn't call it ducking, though. You signed a contract. He wasn't going to get that money fighting Wilder, or nowhere near it. He wouldn't get a quarter of it. $3 million guarantee is what? Compared to 80 million pounds. I'd have took that shit too. Fuck, I'd have took the 12.5. I'd have took the 15. I'd have took the 28. I'd have took the split. I'd have took the attachment with, I would have took any of those. Johnny M. Wilder fighting old mofos who almost beat him. Yeah, I hope he does beat him. I hope Wilder gets knocked out. 92 AKU. Might be the next Buster Douglas. He might be. He might be the next Buster Douglas, the next Keith Holmes. Not Keith Holmes, Keith Mullins. So Keith Mullins is the guy that upset Terry Norris back in the 90s. When Terry Norris had a multi-million-dollar opportunity to fight Oscar De La Hoya. And he fucked it up by fighting this journeyman, Keith Mullins. And Keith Mullins knocked his ass out. It was crazy. So he could be one of those guys, but we will see. Or he could be the guy that is introducing himself in the heavyweight division, is a major player. We can't forget that. Everyone talks shit about Ruiz. And you know what's fucked up? I think it is racism. Not even racism. I think it's prejudice. If Ruiz was a fucking ripped up Mexican, nobody would have said shit. Dude, this is a cocky ass Mexican. Just came out of nowhere and beat AJ's ass. That would have been the narrative. Vive la raza way. Right? Now he's just a fat, chunky, Homer Simpson built motherfucker. Everyone will talk shit about him. And I feel that isn't like that shit ESPN and Stephen A. Smith and all that. That was fucked up. I didn't think that was cool, because I'm like, dude, yes, the motherfuckers built like Chris Farley, John Candy, yada, yada, yada. All the big dudes, stand up. You know what I mean? It meant something for some of that. Could actually be a whole different movement if Andy Ruiz did it right. Yes, I know he's the first Mexican or whatever, but look, who has won the heavyweight title that has looked like that? You see what I'm saying? Who has done that? So really he's worried about yeah, you're Mexican, man. You should be really riding that fat person train, getting a lot of fat people on your team. You know what I mean? Going on the Rosie O'Donnell show if she still has a show. Stuff like that. Oprah Winfrey. You know what I mean? He could spin it if he had a good publicist. You know what I mean? Yeah, it could be about Mexican pride, and I know that. Yeah, Mexicans are proud. They should be. They work hard as fuck. You know what I mean? And some of them are tough as shit, right? And they produced a lot of champions in boxing in the sport. Okay. Andy Ruiz is the first heavyweight boxer. I get it. But then Andy Ruiz is also what? Obese. He's a fat man, people. So... Scance Rants. Aram said Fury's contract wasn't 400 million. Okay, Scance Rants. What was it for? Give me some dollars. Send me some links. Right? Joshua to beat Ruiz on points. Looks rubbish doing it. Deontay and everyone thinks he's finished. Deontay takes the fight, then gets smashed. What are your thoughts? Fabian, Cameroon, that could happen. And a lot of people keep doubting me. And Fabian, I'm telling people, triangle theories don't mean shit. They don't. None of those mean anything. Because it means Joshua could just have Wilder's number. If you got if you let a football player which was what's the football player that he fought? Was it Franklin? No, it wasn't Franklin. Jarrell Washington, right? If you let Jarrell Washington outbox you for 5 fucking rounds with a jab, what you think Anthony Joshua could do? By just using the jab and keeping you at bay, and knows how to set up the right hand off the jab and hook off the jab. That could happen. Yes, it could happen. What also could happen? Wilder could knock him the fuck out. You know what I mean? But yeah, that could happen. And it will start like this. Joshua will come out peppering his ass with the jab. Wilder has no real answer for it. Why? Because he doesn't really resort to boxing. That's not his strong point. His strong point is getting the right hand off, putting himself in position to throw the right hand. That's why he holds it back like that. You see it, he'll cock the motherfucker, and he'll hold, because he knows, and he's showing that person, it's like a wolf gritting his teeth, right? Showing you, these are my weapons. That's what he's doing. He's showing, this is my fucking weapon, and this is what I'm going to hit you with, right? But jabbing, no, he's not a jabber. He doesn't, he didn't listen well to Lennox Lewis when Lennox Lewis was trying to teach him outside that fucking apartment complex how to throw a jab. He wasn't listening to that. None of that, right? Snake Plissken is all about ego. You're damn right, it's all about ego. He wants to be seen. He wants to be in the spotlight, and the spotlight is being taken away from him with this Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz shit. And he's getting tired of it. So he says, you know what? I signed a contract for Tyson Fury. Boom. So I agree with you. Counterpunch to you, Snake Plissken. Solid snake. Funny, they call me Silver Snake. I kid you not, Snake Plissken. This shit's real. You love Metal Gear. But no, I think that back to that fight, what could happen? Joshua starts using the jab. He starts out jabbing him. We all know, if you don't know anything, if you Wilder fans don't know anything about your fucking fighter, Wilder has thin skin. Okay? It only takes a few punches for him to start swelling. Look at the Duopas fight. His fucking face looked like he looked like Andre Berto on one side when he fought Guerrero. He was swole the hell up, okay? But yeah, I mean, he could give him problems. Then he gets desperate, start throwing punches. He might land one of them. But then again, he might not. Because when you start if your eye is swollen and it gets hard to see, you have problems. Because the same punch that's hitting you, that's making your eye swell, that's the eyes that's going to swell, right? So in that case, his right eye will start swelling because he's getting hit with the left jab. Well, that doesn't mean he's going to stop punching with that. That just means it's harder to see with the same fist or the same glove or the same hand that's making that right side swell. That means you see less of that punch coming now. Now you really got fucking problems. Look, yes, it could happen. I'm trying to tell people it could happen. It's a shame boxing can't take a leaf off of UFC. Best fight the best. Yeah, Chris W. Counterpunch to that. That's why I think Dana White's coming over. You need to just bring all that money he ripped off his fucking fighters and make, and offer these boxers some real money. Tony C. Smart Fury. He only has a draw, not a loss to avenge against Wilder. Yeah. Can I have a real recap of what you were talking about, Ivan Bailey? We're talking about it, man. We're talking about Deontay Wilder telling Fury to step aside, so he can fight the winner out of Joshua Ruiz. Randall Kurt, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Absolutely. It's good to see everyone there. Scants Rants. Wilder was saying, don't wait, make the date, mate, since 2016. 16, you say. Let's go back. 16. So 18, all the bullshit. 17. 16. Well, I mean, he's been saying that since 16. That's 3 years ago, right, Scants Rants? What did Joshua have in 2016? I mean, was he even a belt holder then? Right? I remember him knocking out Charles. Right? Sir Charles, damn, what is his name? Charles Martin? Right. Why the hell he ain't fight Martin? He could have fought Martin. He could have been unified a long time ago. He didn't want to unify shit. You know? Kurt is so biased. Judge Jury. Okay. I'm about to say Judge Judy. I don't know how you figure that, but it is what it is. You know, I just see a person that hasn't done what he's supposed to do as a fighter. Now he's trying to backstep and backtrack and now doing some shit he should have done. Like his whole fucking career he should have done. You know what I mean? Johnny Morgan, I don't know. I don't know how I'm biased like that. You know what I mean? John Slack, counterpunch to you. Shouts out to you. Lost One, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Bobby Jones, what's up? Houston in the house, counterpunch to you, sir. And you have a package coming soon. FYI, batshit crazy. Yet he avoided every one of them. Yet he did. Klitschko, Joshua, Povetkin, White. Man, fuck. Charles, he could have fought Charles. Charles was a PBC fighter. And that's another fight that happened on where? It happened on, he fought, Al Heyman somehow fucking negotiated with Eddie Hearn, right? Lower tier. Nobody gave a shit. But of course the landscape was different now. So I think Al Heyman was kind of like, okay, let's see who's who, right? And then that was an attempt to get those belts to beat Joshua, because he could have beat Joshua, but he didn't. He got knocked out in 2 rounds. I'm a god. I'm gonna walk over you. I'm a god. I'm gonna walk right over you. And got knocked right out. Oh. Fury has Chisora 2 times and Klitschko. He did beat Wilder, but that's it. Who else has they fought? AJ has fought top 10 contenders and unified belts within 23 fights. John M. I mean, you know what? Johnny M., you're not going to win against a person that's a Wilder fan. Because he's going to, oh, you're just hating. No, that's what he did. He did that shit in 23 fights. It was a rapid movement. It was a rapid success story. Right? Michael Before. Counterpunch. The IBF have already made the Pulev fight the next. Even if AJ wins, Wilder will make an excuse and say AJ is ducking him again. But Michael, here's the thing. Unifications trump mandatories. So if Wilder really wanted to fight him, that fight can be made regardless of what the IBF says, because according to their rules, they know their rules only matter and they're only that stringent if there is no unification fight coming or negotiated. And it only has a certain amount of time to be negotiated. So if Wilder sits there and talks about money and pisses moans about money that he ain't never got and shit that is offered to him, and and Anthony Joshua tries to sit there and make a deal with him, and it's too much time has went by, the IBF will do that. So he does have to fight, but they only give you a certain amount of time to make that unification fight. They'll only give you amount of time to make their own damn mandatory fight. So they do that on both ends. So Pulev, let's say that Joshua beats Ruiz and now Joshua has to fight Pulev as is mandatory. Okay, well, they only have a certain amount of time. And then a certain amount of time could go by, and then Team Pulev can do what Deverenchenko did. Go there and go to the committee and state like, hey, these guys are jerking us around. They're not giving us what we're worth and what we're asking for. So for that reason, I file that, it gets stripped and the IBF can strip you. And that's what happened to Canelo, if you guys can remember. So that can happen to Joshua. If he gets those belts back, retains those belts, and they can't come to an agreement, Pulev they could run to the committee, to the sanctioning body, and tell them what's what. These 2 punks have had about 70 fights between them both and can list 5 fights that they've been in with Colossus. It's crazy. It's sad. It's sad. This is nothing like the 90s used to be with fighters. And it's just retarded. It's just retarded at this point. Wilder had trouble versus legit contenders. He has no skills. He's a one-trick pony. Yeah, Johnny M, he, one-trick pony. Yeah, but the one trick he has is devastating. He also has speed. You know what I mean? He's fast. He's not a slow fighter. And he's tough. Now he just don't go down like a drop of a hat, because look at Ruiz. Ruiz put it to him, even though Ruiz was older and shit. And this is an older man beating your ass. Putting in work, giving you the business, right? But he still took those punches. And they say power is the last thing to go with any fighter. So when Ortiz was hitting him, he didn't catch him with the amount. And I think that fight should have been stopped, but I don't think the ref would have ever stopped it. You know what I mean? Honestly. Tony Delgado, greetings to you, brother. Welcome to the chat. AJ fought who? Parker, Alexander, Dillian White, 2. Ha ha ha. Well, yeah, Alexander, Dillian White, Parker. And you have to remember something. Alexander, Povetkin was a mandatory. White, you're forgetting Klitschko, Takam, you're forgetting them motherfuckers. First one to knock out Dominic Brazil. Charles Martin, he got the IBF from. So, I mean, you're missing out a lot of people, but they were belt holders. The weakest links were like Charles Martin. He hasn't really been tested, because what happens when a fighter beats you and then that fighter continues to be beat, it kind of cheapens the win for the fighter that beat him the first time, So, Mr. Landlord, Ortiz might find a punch from the gods. He might find a punch from the gods. Once again, the gods might favor Ruiz. DAZN and Eddie exposed for promising fighters title fight with champions on their stable, but not getting them fights. Golovkin, Demetrius, David Haney, and Wilder was next. Proves the DAZN deal was not good. I don't know, man. 2.4 million subscribers, or was it 4.6? One of those. But that's pretty good in the States, buddy. So I don't know what you mean. And I don't even think it's the holdup was for those guys. I believe it was on the other end. Judge, jury, where's White's B sample? I don't know. It's a good freaking question. Where the hell is it? Where is it gone to? Where is it gone to? Ortiz is 75 years old. London Joe, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Ortiz will get paid more than $2 million. Damn, probably so. I'm blessing him. Man, fuck your blessings. Let me get AJ's blessings. You know what I mean? I'd rather get that money than some bullshit PBC money from pay-per-view that might get fucking power sticked out. People ain't gonna watch that shit. And if they're gonna watch it, they're not gonna pay for it a lot of time. But I will. You know what I mean? Okay, judge, jury. He says Kurt is biased, but then, you're not giving me, any reason why I am. Okay. Ty Okan just clocked in. Okay. We're talking about Deontay Wilder wanting Tyson Fury to step aside so he can fight. I mean, that was his recommendation. He hasn't actually done anything as far as of action about what he's speaking. You speak it, believe it, receive it. Well, you speak something, you believe it. Therefore, you have faith on what you do, because the faith is what you put in based on what you believed you could do. Then, therefore, you will receive it. So I think he's missing a step in that philosophy that he says, speak it, believe it, receive. No, you got to speak it and then do something about it So if he's saying that, okay, if he wants Tyson Fury, if he's applying his speak it, believe it, receive it, all right, well, he has to speak it. See, he spoke it. Then believe it. I guess he believes it. But who's to say he believes it? If he believes it, then you'll do what? You'll act on it, right? So let's see him act on the fact of getting step aside money to Tyson Fury. I think Tyson Fury will take it. I think Tyson Fury will say, you know what? Fuck it. I'll take it. And you know what that means? That means that'll break all the bullshit from the WBC. That's if Dillian White becomes cleared, right? So, Kurt, you know the score. If you're not praising Wilder, you're biased or a hater or both. Yeah. Matt Crower, you're right. You can't say shit about Wilder and about money and shit, and he's not getting the amount of money. If he's not getting the amount of money, if you feel that he's the B-side, you're a hater. If you feel that he should have took the $100 million, you're a hater. If you think that, what else? What's the narrative? If you think that he was ducking Joshua, you're a hater. You're a hater if you think all those. You're a qualified hater and you will get much flack. Juan BG, let White fight Fury while Wilder fights the winner of AJ. Yeah, that would be a good one. I would go for that. You know? PBC with 4 belts. If Ruiz wins the end of the heavyweight division. So I hope that AJ will be ready to win. Damn. The end of the heavyweight division? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen if that happens. Deontay Wilder will fight Ruiz, and then Deontay Wilder, he doesn't have to fight anyone else again besides the mandatories. That's it. Tony Delgado, peace and blessings to you. Have a great day at work. I can remember watching Ortiz, Jack Johnson. It was a good fight. Dillian McCallum. That's cold, man. Damn. I had to really think about that. Fuck. This guy. Deontay was scared and ducked, but truth be told, Wilder is all wrong for AJ. Snot Gobbler, how is he all wrong for AJ? Tell me. I want to hear your side. I want to hear your counterpunch on that. Joshua Adetola. I think Wilder is scared Fury can steal his belt away from him. Then he won't be any undisputed fight for him anytime soon. Hey, that could happen too. See, that there's a reason he wants that. Greatest boxer ever. Ali, the greatest puncher ever. Respect, greatness. Big up Counterpunch. Love the channel. Are willing to waiting for a B sample, or are we waiting for UCAD? This statement. We're waiting for UCAD with the B sample. That's what we're waiting for. We're not waiting for VADA or anything like that. VADA came back. VADA was never dirty for White. It was never dirty. It was UCAD. Now UCAD has went underground, probably packed up and shipped off or something. Those dirty cunts. Nicola Austin. Bum Squad is running scared of Fury. I wonder if he will say that AJ wins the rematch. He will quickly announce the date Ortiz fight is on. I don't know. I have no idea what Wilder's doing now. Because now he just threw everybody for a loop and told Tyson Fury to step aside. When remember, he said, or he threatened to freeze out Fury. You guys remember that? Because he said Fury's the only reason. He's the only reason that Fury received the ESPN deal. So if he's the only reason, he's the cause of it. So he says, well, I don't have to bless Fury with another fight. And we'll see how good his contract does with ESPN, because I know it was all about me at the end of the day. So now you're asking him for step aside money. You know what I mean? If you think if you felt that way, you didn't have to fucking fight him in the first place if you said that you could freeze him out. Right? So it makes no sense, man. None of that shit makes sense. It's all contradiction. Contradicting things. Love the accent. That's how they talk. Man, Wilder, he's Wilder's brash. He's country boy brash. He'll tell you what he does. Buzz Lightyear. Oh man, you didn't hear the Ruiz one. The Ruiz one. Ruiz, if he's still partying, he just had his birthday party. And imagine him talking to Manny Robles on the phone, because Manny Robles has only talked to him since then, since that's June, July, August. It's almost September. He said he spoke to him 3 times, so he's only spoke to him like once a month. 1 time a month for the next. He said 3 times, and it's been 3 months. So he says I only spoke to him a few times. I said, well, damn. Looks like my trainer would be hanging out with me and shit, helping me spend some of this money. But I know he broke bread with the trainer or whatever, but check this out. He's on the phone with Manny, right? Hey, Manny, what's going on? No, I'm not coming today because, I just had my birthday and I had Logan Paul and Jake and stuff, and then we were partying with the sushi chick. She had the sushi on her, all on her body, and we were eating that shit off, and it was a little tangy downstairs too, man. So I'm not coming today, Manny. And because, next week, mi sobrina, she's having her birthday party, then my mom right after that, because it's always a reason to party if you don't really want to do a certain thing, right? So you always have something else to do. So and my mom, so we're going to have half of that, la mitad, like 50 part of the party over here, 50% of the party here at my house, and then la mitad otra on the other side with her house she just had, and we got to have 2 catering companies, so I got to be around for that. That's going to take another week, so Manny, I just can't make it, But hey, it's a blessing. I'm doing the treadmill though. I'm not drinking. I'm just eating a couple Snickers, so I'm doing good. Tequila don't count if it's on your birthday, right? You know what I mean? So it's crazy. It's dude. I don't know. That could be the deal, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? But you and Hearn should do a double act with all your impressions. It's not Gaba. I heard him say something. It was kind of iffy. I'm going to tell you something inside news, and it was a rematch clause. If Wilder and Fury was to draw in the first fight. Yeah, it was a two-way. It was a two-way exposaholic. It was a two-way rematch clause. So they had to fight anyway. So that's why I don't even get why they were talking about a Joshua fight anyway. Come on now. If they had that going, we talked about that back in December. So Devin Haney is the future. He might be, and he's with Eddie Hearn for right now. Darrell Wilson, Fury was considered a Judas by the LDBC. Yeah. See, he was that guy that assisted Deontay Wilder, to avoid Joshua and give Wilder that recognition of being the future badass. You know what I mean? Johnny M. Yeah, man, that's how he sounds. He got that slang in his voice. Andy Ruiz. I'm loving it. See, I'm all iced out. You see my thing. I'm gonna get a grill. I'm gonna look like Fat Joe soon. Pero con pelo. But with hair. Let's see. No, they was allowed to make in between fights and no more than 2. What do you think of AJ movement in the ring? Steve Murphy, I think that AJ needs to move a lot more. He needs to do that Irish Landy Lara shit fighting Ruiz and catch him from the outside, fight him from the outside. Be more active. But then again, you have to remember, you can't get overzealous when you're fighting from the outside. You can't give your opponent what they want, because they want you to come inside. They want you mid-range. They want you up close. So if you spend too much time there, you can get yourself in fucking trouble. Joshua can box that guy, and he doesn't need George Foreman now. You know what? I said that about George. He don't need George. You know who he needs? He needs Vladimir, a guy that can jab and fucking grab. That's it. All fights are not meant to be spectacular or exciting. Remember that. Because if a fight was that exciting, that means two guys are punching each other. That could be dangerous. That's not smart. Okay? Boxing is about being smart. Not about, oh, hey, I can take this punch and I'm tough and I want to give the fans a fight. Look, it's about you at the end of the day. Because if you go out there and I gave it my all and I fought the wrong type of fight and got my ass knocked out, I mean, okay, yeah, people are going to go ah and ooh. But at the end of the day, you still got beat. You know what I mean? Shit. People hate Floyd for fighting a certain way, and Lara and all those cats. But then at the end of the day, they fucking still won, though. Right? David Haney will knock out Loma. Yeah, in about 3 years. H Money, you knock him out in about 3 years, not now. He ain't going to do that shit now. You know what I mean? I would love to see it, though. I would love to see him, but, that might be pushing David Haney. Because this last year, he was a fucking contender. Now you're trying to throw him in with the unified champ? Fuck. Hold on, pump your brakes. TV Samuel Garcia SG. Deontay Wilder is making AJ read him more better and more easily to beat him easily. AJ knows how to beat Deontay easily for years of studying him why he was so scared to fight AJ. Fact. I think that fight is. I think AJ could just like Fury. It didn't take a lot for Fury to outbox Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? It didn't take that. Okay, Johnny Morgan prediction. Loma. I think he beats Campbell, but Campbell gives him a scare. I think that's what's going to happen. And Loma, like Linares, has to adjust. And I think it's going to be like round 8 or 9. And it depends on Campbell's conditioning. And I think Campbell is in great shape. He's at home. He's focused. He's ready. So, but I still think Loma. But here's the thing about that. Real quick. I think Loma, now saying he's the best pound for pound, you can get an upset. Why? Because you got a guy that's worried about a certain fight. Now I'm going to go to 130 and fight Tank Davis. Look, it's taboo to talk about fighting any of those fucking Al Heyman dudes when you got a fighter in front of you from that has nothing to do with a fight that you're trying to make. Okay, so he might have caught the Joshua blues, and he might catch that if he's not focused on Campbell. And you mark my words on that, guys. That's real shit. He doesn't, but he has a bit more of a chin, recovery powers in the right hand from hell. I can't stand Wilder and his BS, but no way I'd bet on AJ against Wilder. It's not Gobbler. I wouldn't bet on any of those fights because we don't know. That's what's supposed to make it so intriguing. Because Wilder's one of them kind of dudes. He don't have to have skill. He's told us that his power is better than skill. And that would automatically make me not like him or respect what he's doing in the ring because he's just looking at it one way. That one-track mind. Fuck the skill. I got the will and the power. And I got speed to execute. Okay. He has better footwork than Loma. Well, I tell you what. If he fights that kid and he beats that guy, it's your fucking fault. Because guys like you thinking Devin Haney's ready for Loma, see, that's what happens. Then when Loma beats the Devin Haney, the first thing people gonna say is he wasn't ready. You know what I mean? Last inside info before I go. If Andy wins, Wilder will fight him next. If AJ wins, Wilder will fight him at the end of 2020. When Wilder retires. That always has been the plan before AJ lost. Yep. I said that earlier. He's waiting for the cash out. So that's the last fight that he will ever make. If you're a skilled fighter, you will expect the right hand from Wilder, just like Ortiz and Fury did and gave him a hard time. Yep. Calm down, H Money. Dylan McCallan. Loma is a masterpiece. You know, so it is what it is, guys. You know, so it's up to okay, see Johnny M. This is the problem. Campbell lost with versus Mendy and Linares. Okay, yeah, he lost to Linares. Okay, but that was a good fucking fight. You gotta act like he didn't fight Linares. No, that was a good fight. You know what I mean? So, and it was shit, it went 12 rounds. It wasn't any kind of stoppage or nothing like that. It was a good completed fight by both fighters. And just because, and what did Linares do to Loma? Okay? He dropped Loma's on his ass. He stopped Linares with that liver shot, but still, you know, that doesn't mean those triangle theories do not work when it comes to boxing people. We stop assuming, this fighter beat this fighter, and then that fighter, did he beat that guy, now this fighter's going to beat. No, it doesn't work that way. Diferente. Ahora que estoy diferenteando, debo ganar. Por lo tanto, es hablando basura. Ruiz. Ruiz is basura. Yeah, he talks a lot of trash, you know. Yeah, the mentalities are different, you know. Yeah, well, that's Andy Ruiz, you know. I mean, like I said, you know, his mentality was different. His whole mindset was different. Everyone is chasing for Wilder. No, not really. True lies. Yeah, I do actually. I agree, Kirk. Flaws are what makes boxing exciting. That's why the heavyweight division is so exciting. If the right fights get made, they are all flawed. Loma is flawless, so his fights are almost boring. Yeah, but Tony C, it's crazy because Ruiz, he started off kind, humble. Now, you know, es habladera mucho. Como tú dices, basura. ¿Verdad? It's crazy. He's talking a lot of shit now. But I mean, look, it's money reveals him. It could just be that he made this amount of money. You know, it could have been that like this amount of money made him into this false sense of egotistical mindset and shit talk. You know, that's it. It makes it exciting. That's why the heavyweight division is so exciting. Exactly. Loma is flawless, so his fights are almost boring. It's good to see him throw those shots, those combinations, and you know, pop, 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 then pop. You know what I mean? He's really cool. Cheers for the counter punch. That's it, brother. Montana. If Wilder wins his next 3 fights and retires 45-0, his fanboys will be unbearable. Oh yeah, you ain't lying. You know, you know hey, let them live. They gotta live for something, right? You know. That's it. Hamed 92. He did well against Linares. So yeah, I mean, he didn't just run through the dude. You know, he gave him one hell of a fight. Who do you think when he's out of Wilder and Ruiz? Wilder. It's the style, because for Ruiz to get in the defense, and it's really not a defense of Wilder. Now, if Ruiz can counter him, Ruiz's best bet is to get him in the corner and work the body, set up punches upstairs. And he has beautiful combinations, don't get me wrong. He has to have a lot of head movement. That is a fight that I would recommend Ruiz to be actually smaller, because he would have to move. He has to come and he has to know how to move in and out, get under that jab. And it's not a lot of jabs coming. But see, the thing about Wilder is his jab is only to set up his right hand. You understand? He will throw that jab, and the jab is only either to blind you so he can throw the right hand, or to throw the left hand to see where his right hand will land when he wants to punch it. It's only a target for the right hand. That's all Wilder's going to do. And he sees Ruiz coming a mile away, and he's looking over his shoulders because he's a lot taller than him. He's going to see he's trying to come in. And Wilder does know how to lock you up, right? And then you're going to see a lot of that inside punching. And it also depends on what type of referee we have. Let's be real. If the referee, and you know they're not going to be for Ruiz. Ruiz is a pawn at that point. They want them fucking belts, right? So, yeah, I think Wilder will catch him eventually trying to come in, to execute his own punches and get his own punches off. And he's going to take shots, and one of those shots are going to catch him, and it's going to hurt him. And then he's going to get fucking windmilled. That's it, But then again, hey, that wildness, though, the wildness from Wilder could go against him, but that's only when Wilder knows he has you hurt. He's going to start doing that backyard schoolgirl shit. You know what I mean? Then. But that's after he got you. He caught you with that initial right, then made you do a little dance, like Ruiz did the little fucking Stephen Fletcher dance, right? In the 5th. Yeah. Papachenko created a Frankenstein. Damn. Okay. Joshua will beat Wilder in the future. I mean, that could happen. That's why it's boxing, because we don't really know. Fantasy match, who wins? Larry Holmes versus George Foreman. Larry Holmes. Larry Holmes fought under Ali for years, okay? So he knows how to box. He knows how to move. He'll just use the jab all night. Kurt, if he keeps Wilder backpedaling, then most of the time Wilder won't be able to sit down on his punches or chicken kick like he did with Brazil. Well, that could happen, but Ruiz would have to stay at his chest. And again, it depends on what type of referee we have. That referee, like if you had the same motherfucker with Joshua Parker, Ruiz is going to lose because he won't be able to implement his game plan due to the ref over officiating the fight. So, I don't think Ruiz is going to exchange with Wilder like he did with AJ. Look, William, let me tell you something. Wilder does not exchange. Okay? If he can't come off first, he doesn't throw punches like that. He's not going to fight. He's not going to fight like that. Joshua's robotic. He's not the most flexible guy. Wilder is slightly faster, and he's unconventional stance. Yeah, he's a favorite against Ruiz. That's what we're talking about. Chest up, ref has to let him get inside. Good shot. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't, if they keep breaking that shit up, he's not going to do anything. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. Okay? That fight's going to be, okay, break. And then as soon as they break, just like he did Dominic Brazil, he's going to throw it a mean fucking right and catch Andy Ruiz. Because at that point you break, you have to reset. That stops your whole mental, okay? When someone says break, you're like, fuck. You know what I mean? And right when he does that, Wilder might come right up the pipe. Boom. Over with, right? But he is punching lower. So, but don't think that Ruiz can't do damage with that. But that fight will be made if he can get past Joshua again. So this, what we're saying, could be the future of boxing, people. So this is very important. These are not just speculated. No, these could actually happen. This is a possibility. Even if AJ or Wilder become undisputed minus facing each other, they won't be contended with fighting each other. U.S. and East Africa, we crave for the fight between the two. Yeah, but I don't know. Nicola Austin, Kurt, really want your thoughts on who wins, Fury, Provectin. I seen Provectin. He looks kind of he looks like an old 40-year-old man now. He looks 40. Shit, he's all flabby. You seen him in the AJ fight. He didn't look like that, So I don't know. He doesn't look in good shape to me. So Fury might have him now, Because, these are heavyweights. He doesn't have to make a certain weight and not like that. People have got this in their heads that Wilder's a slugger. Wilder's a sniper puncher, sets up the jab, then goes for the bolt. Johnny Morgan, perfect counterpunch, brother. Counterpunch to you. He is not a slugger, not a brawler. He does not exchange. He looks for that shot to put people away. That's all. That's all he does. Okay, he ain't trying to fight in the inside. He ain't trying to work the body. He ain't trying to do none of that shit. That's why if you listen to Deontay Wilder, what he said, he was like, I got away with a whole gang of shit in training camp because they knew what he could do worked. That's why they let him go with it. I mean, I don't think they really was, he was like a kid in a candy store. Yeah, do what you want to do today, man. Just, keep it Gucci, huh? Shit, I mean, he didn't really learn much, just the pads, work on the pads, his technique, working on getting that right hand off because they knew that worked, And if you're fighting the type of guys he was fighting, who gives a fuck anyway? You're not worried about those type of dudes. It's fun knocking out people that that just got out the fucking Uber lane. You know what I'm saying? Ahmed 92. This is a good channel to bias fanboy like those. Yeah, those guys are a trip over there. Hey, they have a job to do. They got to support their fighter. They got to support Deontay Wilder at all cost. So yeah, they have to do that over there on that side of the street. No, but look, Wilder, he's not that type of fighter. Wilder, if you get him an inside, he will just grab you and lock you up. Man, you know what? What time does it come on? I think 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. I should be watching some part of it because I got a function to do tomorrow. So I might miss some of it. But if not, depends on when it comes on. Nick Driver, man, we're almost at the end of this live stream, but it's about Wilder and, him wanting or suggesting that Tyson Fury is scared, and because he's scared, he should just step aside and let him fight for undisputed. Now, all of a sudden, that's the thing now. It's crazy. There's no such thing as luck. Ruiz hit Joshua's temple a few times. He hit like a coconut. Suleiman. Yeah, you did miss a pretty good stream. This was very entertaining. It was very good for everybody. Got a lot of feedback and stuff like that. Usyk stops Wilder. DJ Big Leg. Damn. Ooh, that would be something. And, someone like Usyk is dangerous, though, because you don't know what his full potential is until he shows it to you. And then when he shows it to you, you'll be like Tony Bellew with your ass out on the canvas. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things. How do you rate Joey Calzaghe in the history of boxing? Top 50. Top 50. I don't know about top 30. Not sure Usyk stops Wilder, maybe on points. Yeah, he might. You know what? I think he does what Usyk does to Wilder, possibly what Hopkins did to Tarver. If you guys can remember that fight, because Hopkins was coming up to Tarver and he fucking beat him like a redheaded stepchild. He didn't knock him out. He just fucked him up real good. Gave him a good beating. A lot of times knockouts are not all that impressive when you can beat someone's ass round after round and let them know consciously, dude, this dude beat my ass for 12 rounds, right? Can you really see Fury stepping aside if he called Wilder the big tosser? No, Nicola, he's not stepping aside. Wilder's just talking that shit. He wants to be heard. He wants to be an attachment of the AJ and Ruiz fight, or the Ruiz and AJ fight, right? That's what he wants. That's all he wants. He wants that spotlight. He wants that fucking highlight bling. Redheaded stepchild. Yeah, they would, man. I think Wilder, man, is the kind of a guy that he figured that he would get more recognition as the dominant heavyweight. And he hasn't start talking shit about Ruiz yet. But mark my words, that's going to be the next thing he does. Start talking shit about Ruiz. Especially if Ruiz beats Joshua. Think about it. You know? Wilder's a sniper. The jab is the scope, and the right hand's the gun. He's not a slugger at all. That's it. He's not. Dragon leg. Wilder wants Ruiz because he's tailor-made. Yeah. Walks right into the line. He will get hit right. I just see that. He's going to hit Ruiz. He don't have to hit him in the face. He can hit him right on top of the head, side of the head, behind the head. It don't matter. He going to hit him. It depends. It depends on what referee you have, and it's going to be the one that allows Wilder to do what the fuck he wants to do. Counterpunch, do you listen to the Ring IQ, Bruce Vane, or Dyer? I don't know who Dyer is. Ring IQ. Yeah. Jules, my boy. You know, we started the Facebook thing. You know, he started Ring IQ. I started my own channel on Facebook called Counterpunch Boxing News years ago. And we were all used to be on IOTBA. IOTBA was a guy that he created, and IOTBA is like, I'm on that bullshit again. I don't know. He kind of fell off, I think. I don't think that he's like as big as he used to be, but these were like Facebook groups, people. So, you know, before the YouTube platforms were created, before Ring IQ, you had IOTBA. Then I made my own. And then, we either had conferences or shared videos and, had rebuttal videos, and I would counterpunch a lot of their shit, and they would, and then what would happen, people started disagreeing, right? We started disagreeing on shit, especially Ring IQ and IOTBA, and they went their own ways. I don't have to be pissed at you to disagree with you. I'm gonna disagree with you now. I'm pissed at you. I'm gonna fuck with you. But they spread out. Now you have Ring IQ, that Facebook page was a very good page. You have a lot of discussions there. And then he, of course, made his YouTube stuff. Of course, the plan was always for me to be on Facebook and let, the Facebook channel support the YouTube channel, because I think YouTube is a bigger platform than Facebook. But, it is what it is. Both of them are pretty big. But I'll go, will you do a live after the Lomachenko fight? I will do one. It probably won't. It'll probably be tomorrow night when I get off. So it'll be Sunday morning if you're in the UK. So stay tuned for that. And I will, I will have to watch the fight first, of course, if I don't get a chance to watch it early tomorrow. But that would be a spectacular fight to see. Because, again, I have a function at 3:45. So, Wilder's a bit like Klitschko, dangerous but bad for boxing. Klitschko hugged, Wilder runs. Both fighters managed by Shirley Winkle. Interesting snot gobbler. You know what? You got a point. Klitschko, that's why do you think the heavyweight division went so dark? Because you had the fucking Klitschkos there. They weren't exciting. If you think Mike Tyson knocked out Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson would be still like one of the, feared, he's the man now. He's a legend, but like back then, let's look at it for what it is. You have Klitschko, you had Vladimir, you had Vitali, and then everything went dark. Vitali retired, and then Klitschko reigned, right? So Tony C, peace up. Rest up. Oh, I will, brother. Disagree with Klitschko outside the ring, tried fighting everyone. Hay, Perfecting. Well, I mean, he fought Hay. He beat Perfecting. You know what I mean? I mean, not saying outside, not saying what his competition was, but as far as the way that he fought, Klitschko was a guy, he jabbed and grabbed. He had that jab style. It was shitty, Scance rants. Wilder runs. I don't know where he ran from. I have to agree with you, Scantz Rant. I don't see him as a runner. I don't even believe in that term. So no, But as far as the jabs and stuff, because they can fight tall. That's why I recommend Klitschko in the corner of AJ, because Klitschko can teach AJ how to fucking fight tall. If you fight tall, he can win the fight easy with Ruiz. He doesn't have to get in exchanges with Ruiz. Just be first. And even though he's slower, he's not the faster fighter between the two, or the faster combinations he can get off, because he has the longer reach. Now he can get countered too. So let's be real. Fury won that fight. Yeah, he did win that fight. But guess what? It was labeled a draw. They should have, took their losses on. Everyone should have been happy with what they did in the fight and when they contributed to the fight. What Wilder was able to do, what Fury was able to do, and let that be that. And then we should have seen already by this time fucking Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. That's it. Klitschko was a textbook polished boxer. He was. But then he knew what to do. He knew how to win a fight. And the irony of Klitschko, he got beat by a guy that beat him in a boring way like he beats other fighters, and that was Tyson Fury. Great topic, Kirk. Can't wait for your next live. God bless and have a weekend. Thank you, Nicola. God bless you back. Counterpunch to you back. Mark McGowan. Fury talks a good game, but has to start fighting better guys even after he fights Wilder again. He does. He has to keep the shit up. But of course, this is showing us a map of what Fury's going to do. We know what Fury's going to do at this point. So this is him. This is who he is, and this is who he's going to be. He's going to fight these guys. I mean, as long as they keep paying, he's going to pick a guy to fight or whatever. So, that's that. Maybe the way he beat AR is winning him by each round on points. Yeah, bogey 708. Absolutely. While, Anthony Joshua can do exactly that. Now, again, not every fight's supposed to be an exciting fight, like a knockout and all that. Don't supposed to be that way if you fight it right. Right? But anyway, you guys, I have to run. This live stream was lit. Dragon Leg, Johnny Martin, Patrick Eddy, Nazim Ali, McGowan, Nicola Austin, Hamed 92, Elber Galarga. You guys have been Counterpunch. Thank you for tuning in for this live stream. Look for the next one will be the Loma versus Campbell recap. You guys take care. Be blessed. And all of you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.